You know, in good Star Wars, Lando Calrissian once gave us the brilliant line,
"This deal is getting worse all the time."
Well, today, the Acolyte is getting worse all the time. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. As of the time of this video's recording, the Acolyte episode 4 has been out since last night, and so of course I had to ruin my Wednesday and start it off with this episode. Honestly, I have zero faith in this show getting any better at this point. It is absolute shit. And we're gonna go ahead and get into everything wrong with this episode right now, so if for whatever reason you're avoiding spoilers, just click out. I don't see why you'd give a shit at this point, but we're getting into spoilers now. 35 minutes in an episode seems short, but when it's this f***ing bad, it is incredibly long. And I mean, really, can you blame me when every episode of The Acolyte is Amandla, whatever her last name is, making the same f***ing face for 30 to 40 minutes straight, regardless of the situation she's in or what character she's playing? Anyway, the point of this episode is that May, the evil twin sister, is heading out to kill Kel Naka, otherwise known as the Wookiee Jedi. So while May and her friend who desperately needs a good shampooing head into the treacherous forest, which is very obviously a poorly put together soundstage, the Jedi themselves are trying to figure out what to do with this situation. And we get a really important cameo here, a cameo that shows us that Disney is hell-bent on using the Acolyte for a machine to completely disrupt the canon previously established by George Lucas. Because this is a cameo from none other than Ki-Adi-Mundi. You probably know him from episode 1 and from the animated series. In this episode, he is very obviously aware of some kind of Sith shenanigans going on, yet in episode 1 he said they hadn't seen the Sith in millennia, and I'm also pretty sure it's canon that he wasn't even born at this point, so maybe he's a lying traitor, maybe he's not, who knows? Within this Jedi group, we get an extended look at this green Skittle-ass who, need I remind you, is actually married to Leslie Headland in real life. Not only is the makeup application super terrible on this character, but she also cannot act and brings down the scene several levels, if that was even possible. And it honestly makes me feel like maybe I made a mistake being straight, because if I just found another helper elf to Harvey Weinstein, maybe I could have also been in a Star Wars show instead of just complaining about them on the internet. Nepotism is alive and well. Anyways, Osha has decided to dip out on the entire Jedi situation because even though she's already seen her sisters alive, she feels she has nothing to do with this anymore. But Sol, who I think it's really interesting, played by a Korean actor and they named him Sol, that really feels cheap at this point. Anyways, the sisterly bond between Osha and May is so strong because it has been directly ripped from the Frozen movie that inspired Leslie Headland to write this piece of shit. Osha is convinced to stay behind and help apprehend May. Spoiler alert, we're probably gonna get another bullshit redemption arc here, because that's what Disney's good at. Anyways, Osha and our Jedi gang of party pals head out on a ship to go find May before she can kill the Wookiee Jedi. And here's something super important. We have like this clothed, weird little creature who comes over and starts sniffing around Osha, and Osha makes it a point to ask Daphne Keene's character if he or they is with them. Not only is the creature literally on the f***ing ship with them, of course he's with you, but I love the specification of he or they, as if she was not an option, because of course we need to make sure that these pronoun conversations are happening at any given time, any given point around us. Thank God she clarified and didn't run the risk of having to be corrected, and also didn't run the risk of Disney not getting the funding to make another one of these stupid shows. Anyways, the D-list Jedi crew set off through the forests of Kofar, I think the planet was called, to find May before she can kill the Wookiee Jedi. He or they, otherwise known as Basil, is a tracker, and he is leading them through the forest. Eventually somebody points out that he smelled something rotten, and I think that that rotten smell is just the rotting corpse of Star Wars, which Disney continues to violate for money. If all of this wasn't bad enough, literally in the next 5 minutes, May has decided to turn herself into the Jedi. Yeah, that's it. I know it seems like I skipped a lot, right? Like I just suddenly said, oh no, May is giving herself to the Jedi. No, that's exactly how it happens. There's like 2 scene cuts of nothing, and then she just decides to trap her slimy-haired friend, betray him and her master, and go turn herself into the Jedi. That's it. Suddenly, Kylo Ren immediately giving up to the light side and making out with Rey immediately before dying makes perfect sense. So May makes her way to the Wookiee Jedi's house and finds that somebody has already smoked him, meaning that her master is among them. Of course, the Jedi find her at this house, and while she's deciding whether or not she's going to comply and come out and be arrested, the master himself, who still has no name, arrives in literally the stupidest helmet I've ever seen in the history of Star Wars. Why does it have teeth? He looks like he's got a zipper across his mouth, and I kind of wish he did. I wish everybody in this show had a zipper across their mouth, unless they had something intelligent to say.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Anyways, it seems almost like it might be a really cool fight. All the Jedi ignite their lightsabers at once just to get force pushed back, and that's the way the episode ends. And I'm aware that this is supposed to be a cliffhanger, and we're all supposed to be, oh my god, what's gonna happen in the next step? I don't give a shit. This is so indescribably bad. The last episode was absolutely atrocious for a number of reasons, perhaps most unforgivably because it completely destroyed the canon established by any other Star Wars movie. You know, Anakin Skywalker being the chosen one, born of some divine conception. Well, lesbian space witches can do the same shit, so it doesn't matter, does it?
I carried them. I created them.
Moving on to this episode, it was incredibly boring, again, poorly acted, the plot itself is lacking, and not only does the plot suck, but character decisions are absolute nonsense. How do we go from 1 minute, I gotta go kill this Jedi, to actually my sister is kind of my priority right now, so I think I'm just gonna turn myself in. It all seems like it's so badly written on purpose, just so that
somehow Palpatine returned.
Doesn't sound so stupid after all. But that's Disney's thing, is writing absolute garbage and then blaming you when you don't like it. Because obviously, if you think this poorly written bad excuse for a Star Wars show is anything but delightful, it's because you're a racist, homophobic bigot with nothing better to do. That's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, tune in on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. You can also check out my Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and content. I will add links to all of these in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on episode 4 of The Acolyte in the comments below.